The HEROES Act to be included, to be given to the Postal Service so that they can meet the needs of delivering these packages on a timely fashion, as well as be ready for this election on November 3rd. I'll address a few other issues after all the others have spoken on separate topics, but at this point, let me turn it over to my colleague, Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Well, thank you very much. Let me just say that I want to thank Senator Durbin for convening us so that we can talk about an issue that's near and dear to me. I know a great deal about the operation of the Postal Service. 1961, when I came to Chicago, it was my first job. And I worked as a clerk, and I worked a year, quit, but worked part-time for 3 or 4 years. When I went to Congress, I ended up on government reform, and it had oversight over postal operations. I became the ranking member on that committee. I also became chairman of that committee, and we wrote the postal reorganization bill that was passed in 2006. Tom Davis, the Republican, John McHugh, Henry Waxman, and myself were the 4 members in the House who wrote that bill. For a number of years, the Postal Service has been treated like a stepchild of the federal government. A stepchild, provisions that they had to comply with. Then here we come at a time of the pandemic when we have a person in charge of the Postal Service who doesn't seem to know much about postal operations and doesn't seem to know much about how to manage that great big system. And so there's a need for additional resources, unequivocally and without a doubt. The House recognized that right up, straight up, that you can't get blood out of a turnip. If you've got a situation where essential workers, many can't work because they don't have child care or they don't have a place to take their children, that's going to cause some delays and pileups. And so you need to be trying to figure out how to increase the individuals who work for the Postal Service, as opposed to decreasing, where people are frustrated because they can't get their mail. In the HEROES Act, we put money in to help the Postal Service overcome some of the barriers that have been created by the pandemic. The Senate, unfortunately, has been behind us, not in partnership with us. And I want to thank people like Senator Durbin, who knows the light, sees the light, and is making proposals and decisions that would give the Postal Service what it needs, and that is some additional help to get past this pandemic. So, Senator, thank you for what you are attempting to do in the Senate so that it can catch up to where we are in the House.
Alderman Matt O'Shea has been a leader in the City Council on this issue. Come on up, Matt.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you for your leadership on this important issue. What I can tell you about the United States Postal Service issues in my community is story after story of not receiving mail for days at a time, weeks at a time, contacting their local post office and being dismissed, treated poorly, talked down to. The United States Postal Service has a very serious issue with their operations. And I want to be clear, in my community, the postal carrier, they're a friend of the family. They're on a first name basis. They know their carriers. But if their regular mail carrier is on vacation or out sick, like I said, days at a time, weeks at a time, not receiving mail. And it's such an important issue right now as we see more and more people, particularly elderly, receiving medication through the mail that they're not getting. This is a very serious problem. We need the United States Postal Service to get their act together, get a handle on their operations, and start treating the men and women who are out there, essential workers every day, delivering our mail, making sure that they are treated properly also. Senator, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'd like to introduce Ms. Rita Orozco, a resident of my community who herself has experienced some issues.
Thank you for inviting me to the...
Excuse me. I'd like you to spell your name. Spell your name.
Oh, okay. Hello, my name is Rita Orozco. Last name is Orosco. And I'm a resident of the Beverly area in Chicago. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts with the US Postal Service. I am a 24/7. I stay home every day. I'm retired. So I kind of watch out for the neighbors, and if somebody's got a package coming, they usually call me in that block, and I watch out for them, and then I let them know that it's there. So I, as Matt O'Shea said, I do know our carriers, and I know them on a first name basis, and if it's somebody new, I go out there and I'll ask them, are you our new carrier? And sometimes they'll say, no, I'm just filling in, and that has been happening often. So I'm wondering, why are we getting new carriers every day? And that could be the problem why, we're not getting our mail. Because one of them told me that they put these people on these routes with no training. I think that's wrong. I mean, we should not be doing that. People are expecting their medicines, their mail, checks, whatever is coming in the mail. And for people to go out there and just not know where to deliver it, it's just wrong. And I think the people from up on top should appreciate what the people on the bottom are doing. And sometimes that's the problem. We get up on the top and we forget that we need the people on the bottom to help us. That's how we got to the top. And we need more understanding up on top, so we don't have this frustration with the people that are working. They're doing their jobs. They're out there in snow, sleet, rain, whatever, and they're walking. So it's not like they're in their cars just sending emails. They're doing, they're on their feet, walking miles and miles. So we need to appreciate them, and I do, because I expect the mail, and I'm waiting for things sometimes. I have talked to my neighbors, and some of them are having problems. And just to share a little story, last week we were expecting a walker, and so my daughter told me, she says, be looking out for the walker. So I did, and I waited and waited and waited. It never showed up, even though the email said it was coming. So she told me it got dark and there was no mail. So she said, well, can you check this out tomorrow? And I said, okay. So next day I called and talked to the post office clerk. She was kind of cocky with me, and she was under stress too. Everybody's under stress, including myself. We're all under stress. So I told her, I says, I'm waiting for some mail, and it didn't come. And I said, could you please check it? I have the tracking number. She checked it. She said, yes, it's here. I said, well, why didn't it come? And she said, because the carrier didn't pick it up. And I said, so now what? She said, well, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. And again, she was with an attitude. So I told her, I says, well, I have to be sure this is coming. I said, this is very urgent. It's for a grandparent. It's very, very urgent. Well, you'll get it tomorrow. And I said, do you promise me? She says, yes. I called Matt O'Shea's office. They sent an email to the post office, and we got it the next day. I shouldn't have had to do all that. And again, people get under stressed, and then they're cocky with the customer, and then of course the customer gets cocky with them, and it just turns out to we don't like the mail carriers. But as a worker myself, I know it comes, if you're having a bad day, it just triggers down, and then you end up taking it out on somebody that maybe you shouldn't have. So in the future, I think we need to appreciate what these people are doing. They're first-time respondent workers. They're doing their jobs, and we need to appreciate this. And with this pandemic, it's really putting a halt on everybody and everything. People are working from home, kids are going to school at home, and it's hard. It's hard for everybody. So I'm just hoping that we all try to stick together and make it work, and it will. Thank you.
Mac Julian is with the letter carriers. Mac?
Good morning, everyone. Mac Julian, MACKJULION. And I am president of the National Association of Letter Carriers, representing over 5,000 letter carriers in the greater Chicagoland area. And just on behalf of them, I do want to thank Senator Durbin, Congressman Danny Davis, and the full congressional delegation, Chicago delegation, who have supported a strong and vibrant postal service, our local elected officials, our customers. You know, you got to realize that right now, our letter carriers are working during a pandemic. And that shows more than anything the dedication, the hard work, the commitment of the letter carriers. And it is equally frustrating for them as it is for our customers when we're coming to work and we're not being able to do our job to the best of our ability. We don't have enough manpower on the workroom floor. Staffing levels are insufficient. You see that in late mail delivery. You see that in no mail delivery. You should not go days and weeks without receiving mail. A customer should not have to walk up to their local post office to wait in line to pick up their mail that should have been delivered the week prior. We feel compromised on the workroom floor, increasingly by leadership that seems to undervalue or not making decisions that's in the best interest of the Postal Service. Banking hours may work good for bankers, but letter carriers starting at 10 o'clock in the morning is not going to get you your mail in a timely fashion. It's going to run out the clock on the day. If we don't have every route covered, unfortunately, some of our customers will not receive their mail. You know, your mail service shouldn't depend on whether your regular letter carrier is at work or not. We have to address the staffing issues. I'm thankful that the House of Representatives passed the HEROES Act that wants to address the shortcomings that we're seeing right now in the Postal Service in terms of COVID-related expenses. So, again, I just thank the whole congressional delegation, but we ask for patience from our customers. Again, it's very frustrating for us when we're out there on the streets, and a lot of times we're coming across customers who have not received their mail. We're getting the brunt of that frustration. Trust me, if these letter carriers are at work, they are at work because they're dedicated and committed. I can tell you, inside our post offices, there's very little room for social distancing. So they're coming to work during a pandemic, showing their commitment just to deliver our mail. So again, thank you, Senator, for your hard work, and Congressman. And again, just give us some patience, and hopefully we can turn this thing around. But we're going to need funding for our Postal Service in order to do so. Thank you.
We'll take questions on topic, and then I'll say a few things about some other issues. If you have any questions.
Senator Durbin, do you believe that this is intentional, that this is an attempt to disrupt the election?
Well, I worry about it. With a president who says he wants to consider changing the election day, says he may not accept the results of an election, naturally I'm suspicious as to what's going on here. And I think people are too. Majority of people, I think, are going to end up asking for a mail-in ballot. But many of them, I've talked to them, are skeptical. Is my ballot going to be counted? Will it ever be picked up and delivered? That sort of thing undermines people's confidence in our election process, which is the key to our democracy. So I worry about it. Now, I've just been shown an announcement by Mr. DeJoy, the Postmaster General, promising that there'll be no slowdown when it comes to the delivery of election materials. We're going to hold him to that. But we certainly want to go beyond that to some of the things you've heard about other things that are being delayed, medications, medical devices that are very important.
Let me just respond to that also. You know, if you are a doctor, a physician, and you got a patient who's hemorrhaging, and you don't stop the bleeding, that sounds like it's pretty intentional to me. I mean, you're the expert. You know what you need to do, and you don't do it, then it's hard to evaluate that any other way.
So this morning we called meeting of the Board of Governors for the US Postal Service. We heard several reports about service, about finance, and essentially just kind of boiling it down. They were talking about there wasn't very much disruption in service.
There wasn't?
Correct. Now, there were a lot of numbers thrown out, but they seem to downplay that. And I just wonder, these last few weeks, I know all of you have reached out and met with officials of USPS. What do you think of this response and their interpretation of what happened?
I think denial of reality is not going to work. You've heard from Ms. Orozco, you've heard from Alderman O'Shea, and Congressman Davis, and certainly Mr. Julian. We know what's going on there. They are canceling overtime, which is 20% of the activity of the Postal Service, at a time when the demand is up higher than ever. People are ordering things online, expect them to be delivered by the Postal Service. And so I think they're in denial. They're just not accepting the reality. And the bottom line is this. This is not the postal company, this is the Postal Service. It is a service for America that I'm proud to say has been part of our history from the beginning. I think it's the best in the world. Try going to some developing country and sticking a letter in the mailbox, and guess what happens? Disappears. You know, we don't want that to happen in America. We want to maintain the level of service and professionalism that we have in the Postal Service, and we need men and women who are in charge of it who believe in the same thing.
Someone else want to share? Alderman O'Shea?
Yes, Leah, to kind of elaborate on the point. This has been a problem for a long time. So a few weeks ago, I sent a survey out to my constituents, the constituents in Beverly, Morgan Park, and Mount Greenwood, the 19th Ward community. I have about 21,000 households in my ward. I sent this survey out. I got more than 3,000 responses. Overwhelmingly, more than 50% of the constituents in my community stated in this survey response that they are frustrated with their service. The majority of them made it very clear they were very supportive of their mail carrier doing their job, but again, not receiving mail for days at a time, weeks at a time. Some of our most vulnerable population, senior citizens, not getting important medication. During this pandemic, over these past nearly 5 months, many seniors are afraid to go outside. They're afraid to head to the local pharmacy, so they're getting these medications through the mail. Story after story in the survey about being treated poorly when they call their local post office branch. Many stories about going up there, waiting in a line an hour long, being dismissed by the individual behind the counter. We understand everybody's under pressure during this thing, but people need to be treated with respect, and it's frustrating. So again, more than 3,000 responses. I took it a step further. I started reaching out to my colleagues in the City Council. 43 aldermen have signed on to say, yes, we've got very serious problems with the United States Postal Service in their communities. Communities from all walks of life across the city. So in response to my survey, Postmaster General notified me via letter that their own study shows that in my community, 97% of the customers were satisfied. And that's utterly ridiculous. Again, 3,000 people respond to a survey. We have a very serious problem, not just in my community, not just in our city. Very widespread. Thank you.
I just want to add something to that. You know, many of you over the past week or so have done stories on Postal Service and delivery issues in and out around Chicago. And if you were to call the Postal Service right now and ask them for a comment, they'd tell you there's no problem. There's nothing wrong here. But yet, in every community, just like the Alderman said, I don't care whether it's an affluent community or inner city, Rogers Park, or Morgan Park, Inglewood, or Ravenswood, there are delivery issues. And it's really not that hard to fix. You put a letter carrier on every assignment, start them 7 o'clock in the morning, and we have improved delivery in and around Chicago. But right now, they seem to dismiss this as if there is not a problem, which makes you wonder, are they creating more of this problem by not addressing the issue of having enough letter carriers in the city to deliver the mail? And again, those who are at work, they're committed, they're dedicated, they're trying to do the best they can. But, if they walk into an office with 50 assignments and there's only 20 letter carriers, there's a lot of customers who are not going to receive their mail on that day. So yeah, there's more issues than what the Postal Service is willing to acknowledge, and that's unfortunate because it creates an environment with our members where, as I said, they're frustrated. They're going to work and their issues and their concerns are not being addressed, and they have families to go home to as well.
And then a question for the Congressman: what would be next steps trying to get extra funding to the post office? And do you think you're going to get support from outside of Illinois? Because it seems like there is something significant to what's going on in Chicago. Is that accurate? Or
We've recognized that as a result of the pandemic, that there are many instruments in our society who have needed relief, who need help. Well, if everybody else needs help, what's to say that the Postal Service does not need additional help? The House has been saying that for months now and have been trying to get the other parts of government, trying to get the president, for one. Early on, the president said, well, I'm not really willing to provide any extra things or anything for the Postal Service. But if everybody else needs help, and every person in our country is affected in one way or the other by the operation of this gigantic corporation, then they need help too. And so trying to get them to recognize it. Of course, people need additional training, but if you don't have the resources, you can't train those individuals that you hire to replace the regular carrier. And so if you've got an operation where management is recognizing what is needed, then you do that. And that's what's needed. Obviously, negotiations are underway in terms of the resource allocation, but it's going to take more than just the resource. It also takes good management to make it work.
I received a phone call this morning from a CEO of a major corporation, one of the major employers in Illinois and the Chicagoland area. And he told me how desperate the situation was. And if the United States government does not come to their assistance, many jobs will be lost in just a few weeks. And it would have a devastating impact on the economy. I believe him. I'm going to try to help him. But I'd say the same thing about the Postal Service. The fact of the matter is this pandemic has created pressures in the Postal Service, the likes of which we've never seen. And more people are depending on it. And if we don't make the Postal Service work for the good of America and invest the money to make it happen, it'll not only have an impact on our economy, it'll have an impact on our democracy. Because there's an election coming up and a lot of people are mailing in their ballots for the presidential election. So I consider the Postal Service to be as high a priority as a major employer would be in any state across the nation. Now let me just say a disappointing piece of news that I just received. Remember what I said earlier? Danny Davis, House Democrats, 11 weeks ago, passed the measure, the HEROES Act, $25 billion for the Postal Service. So far, what has happened in the Senate? Nothing. For 11 weeks, the Senate Republicans produced no bill whatsoever. And just 2 weeks ago, they came up with the shell of a bill, a few things. It did not include any money for the Postal Service. So the negotiations started. And in the negotiations, the President's Chief of Staff is Secretary of the Treasury, Senator Schumer, and Speaker Pelosi, and 2 empty chairs. Senator McConnell, the Senate Republican leader, has refused to come in and be part of any negotiation, as well as Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader. They won't come to the table. So last night did not end well. They were scheduled to return today at noon and start again this negotiation. And it's just been announced this morning the White House is not going to attend. So we've really come to a standstill. If this president thinks he can cure the problems of the American economy and turn around this coronavirus by executive order, he is just plain wrong. It's just like his medical quackery, where he says whatever comes to his mind. It takes a bipartisan effort with Congress and the White House to get this nation back on its feet and to come to grips with this coronavirus. Any other questions? Okay, thank you all very much. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Matt.